Hello, people. My name is Vinny, and I call myself a survivor of a toxic relationship with a narcissistic lady. This channel is for toxic relationship recovery. This channel is for individuals who've been through narcissistic relationship abuse. Now, you must be thinking, what is that kind of a relationship where you are abused? What is a toxic relationship? Now, if you've been invalidated in your love relationship, if you've been made to think that you're a fool, or if you've ever doubted yourself, if the answer to any or all of these questions is a yes, you better watch this video and subscribe to my channel. This is the place, or this is the channel where I would tell you about real life instances, my own life instances, and my relationship with a covert narcissist. This is the story of a love relationship between an empath and a covert, cunning narcissist. This video is coming straight from New Zealand, and if you have suffered at the hands of a covert narcissistic lady, you are more than welcome to reach out to me if you would like. You and I could have shared the same feelings for the same narcissistic lady at one point. This channel's mission is to support people, guide them in the right direction, and to help them get their self-esteem back and to grow in life. Now, before I get on with my love story, I just want to say you're not crazy, you're not alone, and you're not unlovable. And my channel is for all the survivors of a narcissistic relationship, or for humans who are still under the spell of these toxic, subhuman, narcissistic individuals. I'll be using a few terminologies like narcissist, narcissism, codependent, empath, etc. So it's a good idea if I quickly explain what these terms mean. Now, I'm by no means a doctor or a psychologist, but I call myself a researcher, and this channel is all because of the research I've done on this topic of narcissism and my own life experiences. These terms, narcissist, narcissism, get thrown around a lot. Difficult one to answer, but in general terms, narcissism is a personality trait. It runs on a spectrum though, and we all have some degree of narcissism in us. But these individuals with really high degree of narcissistic traits are termed as narcissists, or I call them narcs. Like I was saying, narcissism runs on a spectrum. One is healthy narcissism. This trait is seen in anyone, even a young child, showing off a skill that he or she has learned. This is when you are focusing on your own needs and you're feeling happy about it. But the main thing is nobody's getting hurt. The other one, though, is pathological narcissism. This is the scary one. And this is where the person with high degree of narcissism hurts other individuals. It's a psychological disorder where you focus, or I should say over focus, on just your needs without caring about the needs of others. What is a codependent? A codependent is a person who takes it upon themselves to fix other people's problems. They are givers in relationship. They are the ones who care about what others think. What is an empath? An empath is a highly sensitive person. Empathy literally means to feel someone else's pain, someone else's feelings, to absorb and be greatly affected by their energy. These are individuals who are deeply affected by the energy of those around them. An empath easily gives their energy to people around them or take on other people's energy. This is what makes the narcissist choose an empath as their victim in the first place. I'll explain this later in my video. Now, my story begins like this. Back in 2016, I came out of a relationship of 9 years. And after that relationship ended, I gave myself a fair bit of time before I jumped into the dating world again. I went on a lot of dates, and most of the women were really amazing, one way or the other. But somehow I did not find the person I wanted to start a relationship with. Then came a right swipe on my profile on a dating app, and this beautiful Kiwi lady, and I'm talking about outer beauty because she definitely was not beautiful from inside. She starts texting me, and we have our first date in a span of 2 days. I enjoyed meeting with her, and she said she loved the date as well. The next day, we fix up a follow-up date, and after this date, I thought we had a really good connection. We shared the same values. I obviously did not know at the time that this was all a facade from this manipulative, subhuman person. The narcissist usually use what is called projection. Now, let me explain what projection means. What they do is when they meet you for the first time or the second time, these narcs, as you know, they are master manipulators. When they are talking to you, they are looking for things that matter the most to you. At this stage, they are really good listeners and they are doing it so that you think that they are really interested in you as a person. But they're only showing you the picture that you really want to see. At this stage, they are just gathering information. These people are very cunning. Every step they take is for their own benefit. Every step they take is transactional. When I met this woman, I thought she is everything that I wanted in a woman. She was smart, she was sporty, she had done well for New Zealand in the field of sports. And to top it up, she had family values. I found out later on that she did not. She put me on a pedestal from day one. From the word go, I was everything. I was the best person in her life. She praised me for everything, for my looks, the way I talk, the way I smell, the way I carry myself, etc., etc. This is called idolization or love bombing, and this is the first stage in any of these relationships with an arc. Let me quickly tell you about the stages of a relationship with an arc, because these relationships generally follow a pattern. There are three stages. The first one being idolization or love bombing, second one being devaluing, and the third one being discarding. Idolization phase, in my case, lasted for a period of 6 weeks. During this phase, what happens is you get lots and lots of compliments, you get lots and lots of text messages, video messages, voice messages, and everything happens really, really fast in a relationship with an arc. That's what happened in my case. After 2 dates, I got a text message from my lovely, well, actually, not so lovely, but very mean narc asking me or saying, "Are you okay to check me out? Explore my body, even though we're not in a relationship." You know what I'm talking about, right? The narc simply wanted to trap me in this relationship, and this covert narcissistic lady who was a part of my life once did not have any qualms in even using her body to manipulate me. The typical pace of a good, normal relationship is when you don't get the feeling that it's too good to be true. Whereas in this relationship, I did get this feeling almost every day. This ex narc of mine wanted to see me every second day. Would say things like, she can't keep her eyes off me, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to her, etc., etc. She wanted to get close to my family and was talking about having a future house with me, kids with me, going on vacations with me, and all this is just under 2 weeks into the relationship. This idea of showing you big dreams is another way the covert narcissist manipulates you. This is called future faking. Let me quickly tell you about this concept of future faking. It's one of the most prominent yet subtle tools used by people with strong narcissistic tendencies and other dark personality traits. Indeed, if you've had the misfortune to interact with a narcissist, you've certainly witnessed future faking in its most detrimental form. Future faking is when a person lies or promises something about your possible future in order to get what they want in the present. Let me repeat, it is what they want in the present. It could be as basic as promising that they will call you later and then never calling you, or it can be promising to go on vacation with you and then never taking any steps to make that happen. Or even in my case, like what happened was she was promising to marry me and she wanted to go and look at the sunset from a specific spot, and she was promising that we're going to live happily ever after. And this was all within the first 6 weeks of the relationship. This was all in order to make me complacent, and to control me in the present. She said to me after the second date that she has already told her parents that she has now found the man of her dreams. The narc human, actually, I should call her a subhuman to be very honest, was so smart that she got me under her spell and even got close to my family. We moved in together. Well, kind of moved in together after dating for just over 2 months. When I say kinda, she did not leave her current setting. She was flatting at the time, but lived with me and my family on a daily basis. The move was actually super cool. I was excited because I was under her spell. She was excited, or she seemed excited, because obviously whatever she wanted to do was happening. Like I said, by this time I was totally under her spell and would do almost anything to keep her happy. And this is the opportunity she was actually waiting for. The man was under her control. The man's family likes her, or in my case, loved her. This is the time she started showing her true self. See, the problem with narcs is that they are master manipulators and they're really good at keeping the real self behind a mask. But the mask has to come off, right? And it did. She started controlling me, giving me the silent treatment, started telling me how I am now not the best person in her life. She started questioning me. Why is it that you ask me these questions that make me uncomfortable? Like I was telling you, the relationship with the narc has got a typical pattern. It starts with them putting you on a pedestal. This is done to manipulate you, to make you trust them, to win your heart, and to gain control over you. Once they realize this part of the business is taken care of, they move on to the next stage while still carrying on with the love bombing, but not to the same extent that they started the relationship with. The next stage is called devaluing. Let me tell you about this. Devaluing is where the insults and put downs start slipping into what they say. They suddenly criticize things about you, or I should say their partner, that they once seemed to love. Everything they say is a part of their scheme to shatter their partner's confidence. My confidence was shattered because in the beginning, in the love bombing stage, I was everything for her. She said I'm the best looking man, the best looking guy. I carried myself in a way that nobody else that she has come across carries themselves in such a way. But in the devaluing stage, she would make fun of me. She would make fun of me in front of her family. Oh, actually, I never got to meet her family. That's another story I'll tell you in my later videos. But in front of her friends, she would make fun of me. This is all to break my confidence. All the nastiness is intertwined with some affection though, because this narcissist of mine knew that they have to keep the illusion that the relationship is worth saving. By pretending they can still be loving, the narcissist makes their victim believe the insults are their own fault. I was told I'm too sensitive, I'm too intense, I'm too insecure, I'm too needy, etc., etc. Now, I started questioning her, and I started questioning her about the fact that how is it possible that within a span of about 5 months, we have gone from this love bombing or idealization phase to this phase where I'm hearing things which are insulting. And she did not like that. Narcs do not like questions, or they don't like to be questioned. They think whatever they're doing is the right thing. You are their slaves and you're not supposed to be asking them any kind of questions. When you start doing this, that's when they start deciding on their final stage, which is called the discard. The discard is when you're not useful to the narcissists, when the attention you're giving them is not enough for them. The energy that allows the narcissist to self regulate his or her own fragile and precarious false self. The attention is needed for that, and the attention you're giving is not enough. They look for other options. Or if you have threatened the false self in such a way that undermines the narcissist's fabricated image, like I did, I questioned her. Then they cease all investment in you and they begin their quest to secure another source of better grade narcissistic supply. This is their life. They are hollow creatures. They are empty souls. They move on from one person to the other who can give them validation, who can give them that attention that they need. They don't have anything inside them. This is so crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but I thought when I met this lady that she had everything. She was the best person in my life because she was manipulating me at the time. She was making me feel special. And then uh, from the special phase, the idealization or love bombing phase, I reached the next phase, which is the devaluing phase. And then finally, I was discarded. I was chucked in the bin. She did not care whether my feelings were hurt or not. She said to me one day that she's not feeling it anymore. She's not feeling the love anymore. And that's it. That is the last time I heard from her on the phone. Never heard her voice after that. I've not seen her after that. Thank God. I've heard from her via text messages. It's something called hoovering, which I'll talk about in my future videos. I'll also talk more about my struggles and how I came out, and I'll share my own experiences just to help some of the listeners. I'll talk more about the meanness of these narcissists, what these narcissists are scared of, and how they react in certain situations, which is different to how normal people would react. What kind of lies these people tell us. Yeah, so there's a lot more that I'll talk about in my future videos. For now, what I have to say is you need to look after yourself, love yourself, and I'll talk to you again. Bye for now.